What's up, everybody? Out in beautiful BC, but thought I'd bring you an episode, and I want to talk about movement and different ranges on an opponent. My opponent's right there. Now, if I'm starting from way back here, I'm at this distance where I have no worries about this guy attacking me or hitting me. I'm so far away, which means as I go to move around him, I can do whatever I want with my hands. I don't have to be that concerned. Once I take the step forward, and all of a sudden I'm within this range where I have to be a little bit more aware about the potential danger of strikes, as I go to move, I want to make sure my hands are up, and I definitely want to make sure whichever direction I move, this hand is ready to block. The threat is not going to come from this direction when I'm here. Now, this is an important element. If you decide to drop your head as you move, you have to make sure this hand is going to be up. I can be in this position and cutting, but I have to have my hand up. When I'm out at this zone, it doesn't matter. I can just skirt over here, have my hands doing whatever. From the outside range, all I'm looking to sort of discover is how reactionary this guy is. If he stays in place, he doesn't do much, and I shoot to here, that's fine. I can blitz on him all of a sudden. From this zone though, when I come off to the side of my hands here, I'm looking to make sure I'm very protected because I'm moving in potentially to an attack. Not gonna happen from back here. Now you notice the lines that I made in the ground, they are not to the side. Me moving to the side and then trying to attack puts me far out of distance. And it doesn't even matter if I'm at this third range, which we'll talk about in a moment. If I move completely to the side, I now move myself outside striking range. So it's important to always move in the idea that we're making a circle around our opponent as opposed to just moving on those 90-degree angles. Now, if I happen to be at this range here, this tight, close range where we can both hit each other, I'm a big believer when we cut the angle, we are not ever going to compromise our stance, and we're not ever going to leave our hand low. So if I'm cutting to the side, for me personally, I like to just keep those hands up and tight in place because the risk has been completely removed. And I can still capitalize from any distance on my opponent cutting that angle, but going from here and then cutting to the side and keeping my hands up is very important. Now let's talk about how we might get to these positions, because of course I can be right here and easily cut to the side. Maybe my opponent moves to me and I end up here. But if I want to get to a position where I'm moving tight and off to the side, how would I go about doing that? Well, very first simple one, I move forward with my jab. My jab might not even land, but I come from here and then I'm off to the side. If I try to do that angle out from here and I just try and blitz in, it's way too far. I'm far too slow and this guy's gonna react. So it's about me moving to one of these distances with a fake. When I fake, I come out halfway with my hand. Maybe I drop my weight a little bit. And then from there, boom, I'm off to the side. Then from there, I'm judging, did he adjust his stance with me? If so, maybe I fire off a couple shots and then I cut my angle again, or I hit and I change back. The very dynamic fighters who can move their feet, they're always adjusting. It's forward, sideways, backwards, forward, sideways, sideways, with the strikes in between. A very difficult thing to do. I'm starting to lose my lines here. But if I set out lines on the floor and I start myself from back here and I do something like, okay, I'm gonna go to number 2, throw a long range jab, cut off to the side, maybe blitz in, cut here, and then I sort of plan that out and I'm going, okay, 1, 2, something like that. I can really start to work these angles and understand how to move properly. Easier said than done, but something you need to go about training. And of course, cutting angles works great when you have forwards and back movement. So I do something like fake, pap, pap, off to the side, quick exit, maybe I circle out, again I move in. Having that ability to go in and out and then cut my angle, oh, it's a hard thing to do, which was why you don't see me do it very often. I just rather keep my hands up and pressure fight, but I understand this concept, and if you can start applying it to your sparring, obviously first to your bag work and your shadow boxing, but ultimately to your sparring and your fights, your footwork and your ability to move around people with ease is going to be so much better. Anyway, guys, we'll call it there. I'll be back in my studio tomorrow and be bringing you some fun episodes coming up of my Ultimate Self-Defense Championship experience when I was in Lithuania. We're going to be watching those together. I'm going to take the best parts and talk you through what the experience was like for me. Very much looking forward to sharing that with you, because it was just completely out of my element, out of my realm, and I'll have so much insight to share with you now that I'm actually able to divulge what happened over there.